3 years ago, Sheikh Abdel Nasser and I were blessed to be invited by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with another family that we're very close to, the Jafri family from Southern California. And we went with them to make Umrah. And the special thing about this Umrah was that it was during the last 10 nights of Ramadan. And so you can imagine, like, it's like the Super Bowl of the Muslims. Like, everyone's there, it's packed. On the 27th night, there's probably, people were estimating 4 to 5 million people there. It was really an incredible experience. And I remember that because Sheikh Abdel Nasser at the time had 2 children, 2 young children, his daughters Maryam and Aisha, what his wife and him would do, they would sort of like, each one would take one of the kids, right? Because it's a lot of people, it's a lot to manage. So for one to take both is too much. So, they decided, okay, Sheikh Abdel Nasser one night would get Maryam and Aisha, and then they would switch. So the night that we had Maryam, who's his older daughter, right, we were walking towards the Haram. And if you live in America, you hear all these stories about guards and about, the mutawwa and how they're like walking around with sticks and beating people and things like that. And so we're walking with Maryam and we're walking towards the Kaaba and we see one of these guards. And so instantly, like, sort of like this fear overcomes us. We're like, oh my gosh. And he's walking towards us. He's looking directly at us. And we both have that very American response of like, what's he going to do to us, And he walks up and he looks at Maryam with this really like just big bearded face guy. And you just see this giant smile crack on his face. And he reaches into this bag and he opens this new pack of candy that he just bought. And he just hands her a piece of candy, pats her on the head, says, MashaAllah, and then walks away. And at that moment, Sheikh Abdel Nasser and I just like high-fived each other at how awesome that moment was and how incredible of a memory that's going to be for Maryam. Imagine she's walking to the Haram in Mecca to pray Taraweeh with her dad and her, chachu, and she gets a piece of candy from this amazing guard of the Haram. And just what a sweet experience that would be. And this guy, what he did was he went to go hand out candy to all the kids that night. So it was an amazing experience. And every time I go back to Mecca, I look forward to having more and more like that.